like the green. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a magical start to the week. Today we are learning all about Terminator 2 3D. Such a fun attraction, and I'm so excited to share this story with you. So sit back, relax, we're gonna get ready for a week together, and if you enjoy while you're watching, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss a magical makeup Monday again. Past Grace is gonna show you how we got this look today. Now on to the story. Enjoy! Hi, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a magical start to your week. Today we're learning about an immersive exchange show called Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time, also known as T2 3D. This attraction was at 3 parks across the world: Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Studios Florida, the original, and Universal Studios Japan in Osaka. The set and design of the show is truly a work of art. The attraction is a 3D film set to a mini sequel of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, the popular movie franchise. Not only was this a 3D ride, but the attraction actually utilized live actors to really bring everything to life. If you haven't had the opportunity to see the show live, I'll link a video below so you could watch it. I personally haven't had a chance to see it live, and I have some serious FOMO. I mean, the set, the design, bunch of moving pieces moving about, totally awesome. The actors during the show look like they did a phenomenal job of bringing this to life. They literally came out of the screens, and the effects and technology used was absolutely on point. Honestly, after watching the video on YouTube, this show is better than some others that we have in theme parks today, in my opinion. You can really tell a lot of work was put into the production of the show, and there are so many people that had to work hand in hand to make this really come to life. Our story first begins in the 90s when Landmark Entertainment is approached to create a stunt show based off a popular movie franchise, Terminator. Now, at this point in the story, I think it's time to get serious for just one moment here. Now, I think I should bring to your attention that a certain producer of our story has been facing some very serious allegations. Now, I won't mention his name during the video, but you should know that I do not take these allegations lightly at all. But this show and attraction is really critical to Universal's history, so that's why I'm bringing it forward. There's also a lot of people who worked on this attraction other than this one person. Please feel free to Google and peruse at your own risk. My intention is not to feature this individual, but the attraction itself. Anywho, serious part over, and Landmark would get to work on the production of the 3D film and pyrotechnics with permission from MCA Planning and Development. Along the production process, the team came to the realization that they needed 2 things. One, the actual rights to Terminator, and 2, they needed to find a way to get James Cameron on board. Quote, "We started storyboarding sequences to show to James Cameron. We did sketches, and what we had we thought was doable. We didn't even have the rights to Terminator 2 yet. Universal wanted this to happen, and they wanted us to bring to the table as complete a treatment as possible so that we could go to Coralco and pitch this." End quote. Landmark Entertainment. Now, when James Cameron was originally pitched the ride, he didn't want to do it. Kind of a bummer, right? It sounds like they put a lot of work into this already. Not to worry though, after reviewing the storyboards, he ultimately granted his approval and the project lived on. With Cameron's approval, the ride desperately needed some help of the actors and actresses who were actually in the Terminator movie franchise. Now, most of the crew was reunited along with top Hollywood stars like Linda Hamilton, Robert Patrick, Edward Furlong, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Production of the film was shot at the abandoned Eagle Mountain iron ore mine just north of Desert Center in California. The film alone cost Universal $24 million for a 12-minute film. That's insane. That's $2 million per minute. Just for reference, $24 million would be approximately $52 million today for a 12-minute film. wild. Universal would go on to patent many of the elements of this attraction, including the seat drop effect, the blending of live and action, the blending of live action and film, the trio of projection screens, and the simulated assault weapons used throughout the show. I mean, I totally understand why Universal would want to patent some of these main elements. The actors literally looked like they were coming out of the screen, and it seemed like they made the film actually come to life. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm watching a movie in like the movie theater, I always think like, oh wow, imagine if that action actually just like stumbled out into the theater. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I do think about that a lot, especially with like Marvel and like Star Wars and that kind of like action-packed movie. Think about it a lot. I might be alone on this one, but that's okay. Anyways, as talented as these actors were, they needed a place to practice and rehearse prior to opening day. A mock-up of the stage of the attraction was created in an airplane hangar in the San Fernando Valley in California. As you can imagine, there were a lot of moving pieces to this attraction, but like literally moving. I mean, think about it. There are live actors, a 3D film, 3D effects, moving set pieces, all that need to be combined with a 12-minute production film with the real actors and actresses of the Terminator movie. They all need to be timed perfectly so they moved in a cohesive manner with one another. I mean, really thinking about it, it's bananas. Oh, one more thing. If that weren't enough, the movie theater actually moved. The seats would literally move with the action as it was playing out in front of them. Truly so immersive for a show, like that's absolutely wild. If all of these parts didn't make you fall in love with this attraction, maybe the addition of animatronics will. Not one, not two, but 6 T-70 Terminators were used during the attraction. I swear, the technology of this attraction and show just does not get enough love. Personally, I would love to see Universal take this technology, improve it, and use it for another show with like a new IP. I was trying to think of what IP would be awesome for a show like this, but I can't really think of it. I guess that's why they have like those 3D type rides. Maybe that was kind of part of it, but I would love a show. You know what I mean? I feel like a show would be very cool. Anywho, back to this amazingly immersive attraction. In case you were wondering, the team achieved the 3D element on a 7mm projected film, a 2-camera rig that weighed nearly 450 pounds. Heavy. Okay, so you're probably wondering, well, Grace, what's it like to actually walk through this attraction? On April 27, 1996, when the attraction first opened. Well, the queue began with some of the latest and greatest inventions from Cyberdyne Systems. Prior to entering the pre-show, guests are instructed to pick up a pair of safety visors, aka 3D glasses. You're then greeted by Kimberly Duncan, Cyberdyne's Director of Communications and Media Control. In the pre-show, guests will see a video montage of, again, all of the latest and greatest in the Cyberdyne universe. Suddenly, the video is interrupted by Sarah and John Connor, who give an ominous warning about the war involving the bots and technology that Cyberdyne has created. Of course, the audience is told that there is absolutely nothing to worry about and to ignore all the warnings that they had just heard. Fun fact, back when the pre-show first aired, it featured things like CGI, which is funny because we have that today. So as the years kind of went on, the show became a little bit outdated. With that being said, the show did get a little revamp in 2015 to bring it into modern day times. You know, CGI had been in tons of films at that point. Anyway, back to the show. Guests would continue on into a theater that could sit about 700 people. That's a lot of people per show, if you think about it. 700 people? Once seated, characters like the Connors and Liquid Metal T-1000s abruptly greeted their guests. Of course, the T-1000 is set to, kill the Connors and mock the audience that's watching along the way. But of course, we can count on Arnold Schwarzenegger, Robo-Assassin, to come and save the day. The bots are pulled through a time portal into the future, taking the audience with them for a long journey ahead. Wow, what a ride. I mean, Universal knew it had a major hit on his hands and immediately started production for another sister ride to be made in Hollywood. On May 6, 1999, T2 3D would debut in Hollywood. This show was so popular that Universal made it an opening day attraction when Universal Studios Japan opened on March 31st, 2001. This attraction had a long run, but unfortunately it did end up closing in all 3 parks to make ways for new attractions. I feel like that's kind of like the theme park life cycle, you know? For better or worse. T2 3D had its final performance on December 31st, 2012 in Hollywood, October 8th, 2017 in Orlando, and September 13th, 2020 in Osaka. Japan was closed due to budget cuts following low attendance numbers after the COVID-19 pandemic reopening. Personally, I am sad I never got to experience this attraction live, but I am curious to see if Universal would ever bring back the show in an updated form with maybe some updated IP. And I was trying to think of an IP that I would love to see them bring back or use this type of technology for, and I was like, well, they didn't even have the rights to Terminator, so maybe they didn't have the rights but they got access to maybe like, I don't know, a Stranger Things show. I know Universal did a Halloween Horror Nights house for Stranger Things, so maybe Netflix might be down to have a show at Universal or partner with them or sell them the rights. I'm not 100% sure how that all goes down, but could you imagine this technology updated and brought to life with an IP that everybody loves and is like trending right now, like Stranger Things? Bonkers. Personally, if I had a preference, I would love to see a Game of Thrones show. Probably not super appropriate, and I think Stranger Things is more likely to happen than Game of Thrones, but a girl can dream. I'm curious, what kind of show would you want to see? Is there a certain IP that you would love to be brought to life? Is there something that is so immersive that you would just, I don't know, love to see as part of Universal in general? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Well, friends, I had so much fun researching this one. I hope you learned something new today, or it brought back a feeling of nostalgia from when you visited the parks some years ago and this attraction was still there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the final look of today. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss a Magical Makeup Monday again. Until next time, friends, I hope you have a magical week and I will see you guys next time. Bye!